All right, upper complex in Night Darsh or Nightmare Darsh, as I like to call it. Very cool area, very brand new area. It is good loot. It's not as complicated as you think it is. We're gonna explain how to do it and just talk about some tips that I can recommend to make it a little bit easier and make the runs a bit better. We are doing this not on the sponsored mode. Even the sponsored mode is only for 1 week. You may watch this after that, but do not do it on sponsored mode. It's really difficult unless you're super lucky. But I would bringing a good loadout, blue shields, purple shields, maybe up to you. But have a lot of ammo, lots of meds, and time. You need time to get through this map, and of course, other people might come up from other areas, and they might come and kill you, basically. And while doing the boss fight, they might just gank you, I guess you could say. But let's go talk about the basics real quick and talk about how the run goes, pretty much. So one of the very basics of Night Marsh is these certs, and certs can drop from any of the UAC bots. The more rare or like blue shielded or purple shield will give you more or less. So like the blue ones are grenadiers, and the shielded ones give you about 2 or 1, or even the ghosts, the green shields give you 2 or 1, and then commanders usually give 3-ish around there. And then you can also find certs in the POIs as well, just on the floor. You can pick them up. And why is that important is there's 2 reasons to use them. Certs, you can spend 7 certs on the complex map. There's the 2 doors on the very edges. So on the ramps on the left and the right side. So for example, like this. So one of the side on the edges, there's 2 elevators. One on the right side, one on the left side, depending on what you're looking at. There's gonna be these doors over here. And these doors cost 7 certs to activate the elevator. Once you activate this elevator, you will make noise, as in you have to kill a commander that spawns from the elevator, and it'd be a couple of recruits here and there. You have to kill the commander in order to open up the elevator and then go up. This is the loud way to go in. Okay, so if you wanna speed run and just spend less certs to go up to upper complex, you could spend 7 certs on either side. As you know, I mean, at that point, you understand is that there's 2 entrances. So technically, if another team wants to join, or instead of doing the same entrance as another team, you can just do the other side and do another 7 on the other side if you want to. But you got to kill the commander in order to progress there. The other way is the more quiet one. It's the 4 elevator shafts in the middle of complex. You should see these UESC tapes going up the ladder, and there's going to be these 4 doors. Each door costs 3 certs, so you need 12 in total. So you have to go, either you can split with your team here, drop 3 for you, go up the stairs and then input it in to go a little bit faster in order to open up these doors. And then once the last door that's open, that is the door that opens. So you want to communicate with your team, okay, I'm opening, this is the last door we need to open. Let's go ahead and make sure we all meet up at the same time and head in together for the last one there. All right. But before doing any of that, you're going to need a observation key. Now, there's 2 main ways to get this key. So there's these towers on each POI. It does this giant animation, and you get what do you call it? There's like an announcer that, oh, intruder nearby, yada yada. You put the 3 certs in from killing bots, and it'll give you a cache, basically, either a gear cache, a weapon cache, or a supply cache. Once you activate it, you'll be a marker on the map, and you can go ahead and head towards it. Now, opening those cache crates will have a chance to drop observation key. The other way to get an observation key that seems to be guaranteed, we've done it like 3 times, and I mean, it's a small sample size, but it's given us the key. Mostly guaranteed is the Warden random spell. So about like halfway through, or about maybe 26 minutes or 8 minutes into a run, you'll have a random Warden boss spawn, and killing the boss mostly has given us the key each time, basically. So here's an example of a cache. You can see when we are looting this box over here, you'll see that we get an observation key in one of these boxes. A random chance for it to happen, but it costs 3 certs. So the loot is pretty good too for the beginning, most of the time. But you do need to get an observation labs key in order to do anything good in upper complex. There's no point going to upper complex unless you're going to fight a team up there already. But it's absolutely zero reason to go up there at all without this key. You can't do anything else. There is the red door room we'll talk about later, but it's not as good as you think it is. But observation, labs key, you need this in order to pretty much do anything up there. So after learning that, in my opinion, if you're going to farm upper complex, you want to do these warded. Now, of course, they're making a lot of noise, and it's like kind of the opposite of, doing the silent way of going up the complex, right? And this is the loud way of getting a key. But I do think this is the better option for the most of the time. So you have to kill the warden, or not warden, but one of the commanders that's guarding the box. You have to interact with the box, then it will send a bunch of flares up in the sky, and it'll spawn in more commanders to fight. And eventually it'll spawn in a purple shielded warden. Not a actual boss warden, it will spawn in a weaker version of a normal warden. So you're going to have the sniper commander spawn in, and then you're going to have like the grenadier commander as well will spawn in eventually. Is you always got to clear it out in waves here. I think just 3 of them basically. And each of them will drop certs as well. So this is a very good way to get some certs, 3 on each. So you get 9 certs from doing this, and then you open the box here, big loot as well. You should see it on the bottom, very bottom one. You should see we got another 5 certs, and then another observation labs key, which is very important. Like I said, this we done. I can't confirm it, but we've done this at least from our day 1 runs 3 times that we've gotten an observation key each time. So this warden spawn is probably the most efficient way to do it, because as soon as you get the certs and you get the key, you're gonna head straight to complex and then just go up the elevators and then use the elevator shafts in order to progress the area basically. So here we're gonna showcase the way in through the elevator shaft. So this is for 12 certs. So when you do the last door, like I said earlier, you will open up, and the door will be open. So your team has to come for this door in order to go together. You have to hack these doors, which is a bit annoying. Is only to slow you down. It's kind of weird, but you have to do these hacks on these doors. It's like 3 of them to do basically, in order to get by. There's claymores you gotta look out for, and you do like at least 3 times these doors. So the first room here, this is what you do normally for the elevator when you first come up. So there is going to be this room, both sides the same thing. You're going into, no matter what, every time you have to interact with this computer. The computer, once interact, you have to go ahead and listen. If you ever play Cryo, it's like those things you shoot to remove the frost, and if you separate your team to be either on the left side or the right side, you can hear them like squeak a little bit on the left or right. So you're looking for the blue stuff. So these blue boxes, it will have a green above it. You just shoot it. But of course, we'll show an example of me doing those. But the map is symmetrical. So you're basically, all you're doing is on the left side or the right side. It's going to be upstairs, downstairs, and all you do is shooting the correct amount. So the first room is 2. Once you shoot both of those, you're gonna head down up to the door that opened up. You're gonna head up the ladder, somewhat like that. And then you're gonna, since we hacked the 12 cert door, we have to go and hack this door, for the most part. And you have to hack the next door. Yeah, it's just how it is. 3 doors you gotta hack in total. And you're gonna be into this next room over here. Okay, so similar as the one we just did, you have to go ahead and go to the computer and hack it or interact with it, and then do the squeaky buttons again. This time I think it's 4. And the rooms for this, top and bottom, upstairs, downstairs, you gotta just check up and down basically. So the room is going to be like on the upstairs. You have to shoot through glass to walk through it. It's kind of a wonky thing, but it's above the door. So above the door you have to exit from, it is above. You shoot the glass and walk in, and to go ahead and just walk around the map and try to find these blue buttons, like I said already, like that, for example, like that. If you have your team separated, for example, like one guy has to use the computer no matter what, but then if you have one teammate on the left side, one teammate on the right side, you can listen in for them to squeak, because there's more blue buttons than the correct buttons. So you can just walk by them basically, and just listen to them before they pop up, because they squeak before they pop up. And you should be able to pay attention to that. Now the next room, The third room always is going to have the screams, the exploding husks, the new enemy. They're always going to be spawned in this room. You should either run by them or just take the damage and have meds and just heal yourself up. They're kind of annoying to kill. They're just weird. Now, the next room here, yeah, you have to go in this room up on the top floor, and you gotta find 5 buttons for this, or I think it's 5, and you gotta listen in. So that's the example. Again, you gotta listen for that. I heard one near me, so I was like, okay, there's one out here. I'm not gonna show all the locations. Like, it's not as bad. It's just practice, honestly. You will learn most of the spots probably, but listening for the sound cue is what helps the most without trying to memorize every single spot. Just knowing where the sound is coming from in a certain direction, you'll be able to find them basically. All right, so just to make sure your team is communicating and saying, "Oh, I found one. I found one." You know, and just count. Okay, we need one more. We've done 5. We've done 4. Just make sure, you are communicating with your team and making sure that you're all on the same page, basically. But it is a bit tricky here and there sometimes, but you will find them eventually, right? So this is the last room on the one side. So you do this 3 times technically. So the first room, second room, and third room, you have to do the computer each time. And then this next room is the boss room. There will be these screams that will spawn in. And then you have to go on one of the sides of the map here. And this is where you get to input the observation labs key. At this point, like I said, if you don't have the key, you can't really do anything else other than open up the red room, which is not as good as you think it is. Okay. But as long as you have the key, at this point, you input it here on one of the sides, and then it'll start the boss wave. Basically, very simple. All you gotta do is survive the onslaught of UESC bots that will keep spawning, and you'll see that there's like a screen or monitor on the top right there, and it'll just keep going up as long as you gotta keep clearing the ads, and it's just a timer basically. As long as you are, when it turns like the red beeping, you have to go ahead and shoot the green boxes around the map. Once you do that, it'll progress to second wave basically. So as long as you're clearing ads and also destroying or shooting the green, what do you call it, the green, the blue squeaky boxes, whatever you call them, then you'll progress the wave basically. So right now it's red, so they wait for the squeaky noise. I'm going to shoot, I think it's 6 of them, so they pop up and then look around. They're pretty simple. So the way we set this up, we just have ourselves in a triangle. So I'm on this side looking in the corner here, and my other teammates are on the top and on the other covering. Like, that's like, cross-firing the bots and all that stuff. So having a destroyer is very useful if just killing these bots very quickly. The boss doesn't spawn. It spawns where I'm standing right now. And it's a very scary boss, I'll be honest with you. Or warden, one of the scary ones. I think it uses a not frost, it's called the frost warden, but it's what do you call it? It uses like an Ares or a Zeus, and like one shots you, so it's kind of scary. So you'll see that you do want to shoot and make sure you shoot the green stuff for the 3rd time. It doesn't end the encounter, even though it's the 3rd thing. You do have to kill the boss in order to end the encounter. But if you don't shoot all the green stuff and the boss is dead, enemies will keep respawning until you just kill or shoot all the green stuff. So as long as you do want to make sure somebody's on top of that. If not, then you're gonna have some trouble of, like, if someone goes down, the reinforcements will keep spawning in. It's going to cause some issues. So make sure that you actually kill all the boxes. And then you see that once you kill the warden, it's all finished. And you're going to go ahead and head to the loot room, which is behind this door, behind the TV, over there. Now, of course, I was late to the party, so I didn't get to see the initial loot, but there was a gold waster shotgun in there. If that's your cup of tea, but you just head to the back over here. There's going to be the big loot box in the middle, which is what I missed, and there's the high-end strong boxes. There's 2 of them on the left and the right side there. So basically, it's good loot. The middle box is good loot, and then the side box is also decent at the time of, for this day one loot, decent resources and salvage and all that stuff. So you can get some decent stuff with that. Okay, so that's pretty much the gist of the boss doing the 12 certs, right? Now you can choose to enter from a elevator like so. This is going to cost you 7 certs instead of the 12 certs to get inside. As long as you kill the commander outside, like I said earlier, you will go ahead and head into the elevator. The door will unlock. There's 2 entrances on either side. Just make sure you kill everything. And it's pretty much very similar, but you don't have to hack the doors to walk through the hallways, basically. So once you head out of the elevator, there should be a vent behind you to go ahead and enter. So head into the vent behind you and head up the stairs or ladder. And then you're going to head straight into the hole over here. And then you'll be in like the first room, basically, of where we were earlier in the 12 cert room, basically. But we're on the blue side this time. There's actually bots to kill. Normally there wasn't. We did the first time. We're gonna go ahead, like I've said, and do the same thing. This is the blue side, so the yellow side. You're gonna go ahead up the stairs in the middle and enter out the computer. This is going to cost 3 instead of 2 from the other side. Okay, so it's a bit cheaper than that. Then you're going to find the panels and shoot those. Once you do that, you have an extra more UESC instead of the normal route of the elevator one with none. You're going to kill those, usually like a bunch of blue ones, but it's good for certs, and honestly good for the red room. So there are lots of bots here you can kill. I'll give you a bunch of certs that they drop on. If you cannot farm the observation labs, you can do this route instead. Just pick up a bunch of certs as you need them for the red room door. So similar to the yellow room, you're gonna head up, so like it's above the actual door. And enter. Now I'm gonna find the 4 buttons on the map. I don't have the locations for it. Like I said already, you're gonna listen to the beep, the squeaking noise. Have your team listen to it and just try to find, okay, there's like 2 on the left, 2 on the right, and keep talking to your team to go ahead and find these buttons. Like this is like, they're always in the same spots, but they're random each time. There's more than 4 around the map, but you just have to just make sure to communicate with your team to tell you, okay, I found 1, found 2, yada yada yada, all that good stuff. All right, to the next room. This is where a bunch of husks will spawn. Always at this part, it is a bit annoying. They do kind of can explode themselves, but with the sponsor kit loadout we have, it's kind of hard to kill these guys. And so it's to the third and last room for buttons. You're gonna go ahead and head upstairs, and you're gonna have to find 5 buttons for this one. So just look around like you would always do, and work together and all that good stuff. All right. And then once you're done with that room, you're in the boss room, and we don't have an observation labs key, so there's actually no point to be here. And if you're wondering, if you're continuing to the other side, or if you enter from one side of the room and you continue to walk to the other side of the room, you open that door, there is nothing there to really do, because that's how you get there from the other side. There's just 2 ways to get in. That's it. And then in this room over here, you have the key room, but under the key, we can't open the key because there's. Now let's talk about the red rooms. The red room found in the boss room. There's these red buttons similar to the blue ones, but the red ones open the door over there. The red ones are static in terms of they are always on in the same spots. So as long as you learn the locations, which we'll show you most of the locations for them and talk about where you can find them, the loot for it, I will just spoil it right now. It is certs. All the in that room, is Certs Lockboxes. Tier 3s, Tier 2s, Tier 1s. Tier 3s are 5 certs each, Tier 2s are 3, and Tier 1s are 1 certs to open them up. They're not that bad to open it up. They're not that bad. But if you don't not have an observation labs key and you just want to go in here and just do that instead, you can just farm a bunch of certs and open up those boxes at the end over there. Okay, so that's the only thing. That's what I said. If you want to do the elevator, 7 certs instead, and kill all the UESC and get more certs while running through this, then that seems pretty good. But other than that, if you don't have the key, the labs key, there's no point really go inside complex, to be honest with you. Okay, so let's explain the red boxes and show what we were talking about. So the room we're in right now, just for context, this is the room right before the boss room on the blue side of the map. These red boxes are located in like the maintenance area. So this is like the very outer edge, like the gray area in the back and on the right side and the left side. So that room over there on the top floor and this room over here where the vandal was, and that's a symmetrical area. They're the exact same layout on the left and the right side. If you enter those gray hallways, you will find one of them in there and another one in there as well, and they will always be there and they should be always be on. I could be wrong, but that's just from my knowledge. That's how that works. So as long as you know that, there's that. And then there's also ones in vents. So in the very beginning area, which will show, there'll be ones in the vents, but this room will have 1 guaranteed, and I need to go ahead and find 4 more. Now, like I said earlier in the video, this whole map, even then, is symmetrical. Like I said, that room is symmetrical, but also the opposite side of where you entered is symmetrical as well. So if you have this room unlocked and you head to the opposite way, you will find red buttons there as well. And in like the same spots of this room. So this room has a 2 on the left and right side on the outside, and then the room on the other side, the yellow side, will have the same thing as well. Now we're in the room before that one, which is like the one of the vents to it. So if you head up the vents on the right or left side, you will be able to get the one of the red ones in here. So you head to the vent in here. On the left side, coming in towards the middle area, you have one in here. And then if you head back out and you head to the right side, facing, I guess, north. I guess I could kind of say it like that. Oh, what is the north side? I guess so. South side and then his north side. You have another vent over here, and you'll be able to find another red one. Okay, so there is that. Now that is, we found 5 in total around there. And so then, okay, let's just go back because I think it opened up. I think we found 2 more on the other side, which I will show where that is real quick. But as you can see here, we're heading to the other side. So like if you're looking for red buttons, this is the yellow side, not the blue side, the yellow side. And it's like the similar room. You're heading onto the outer edge of these side rooms. So these side rooms over here, there's like the maintenance, halls. And if you head to the other side, it's the exact same thing. Just like the blue side, you're heading all the way to the back side, and you'll have these red ones, on the sides there, right? So that's pretty much what you're looking for. And there's also one over here, a third one you can find. And again, this is the room before it. There's going to be a vent, like these vents. The vents, go in the vents. And you're going to go ahead and find these red buttons, these red ones as well. So there's one in there and this vent at the top side. So once you hit the button, the door will open up. And like I said already, this just is a certs room. You're going to just spend all of your certs. There's a tier 3 certs, the tier 2 certs, and a tier. It's like a lock. It's like the lockbox room. Of course, I don't know if you can see with thieves, but if you have a thief on your team, I'm sure it would be pretty beneficial if you can see the loot basically. But you can see all these boxes right here that cost certs. You have to use, and yeah. To my surprise, not surprised, but that's the loot room for that. And it's very easy to open up. Once you know the spots, you should be able to get these done pretty quickly and pretty easily, I would say, confidently. So here's an example of opening up a 5 cert one. So you can see what we got here. basically. So we got some, I think some purple implants, which are pretty good, just for free, because like it's nothing not hard to do to get here. So, and if you know now to farm certs, the farm certs before coming here, then you can pretty much guarantee some pretty good loot, I would say. So, there is that. And I think that's pretty much the gist of the upper complex. I don't think there's much else other than, like I said, you need the key to do anything, to get any good loot. If you don't do good loot, then you do the thing, the red boxes, yada yada yada. But other than that, just make sure you have a good loadout, have some meds, have some ammo. You'll be killing a lot of bots in this room here, and have time. That's the biggest tip I can have. Have time, and yeah, just make sure you're shooting these green boxes when it's available to progress the wave, not to get overwhelmed by the bots spawning in and all that good stuff. And then the warden spawns in the third wave. And yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed the video. It's been a while to make marathon videos or even make marathon videos, but maybe we'll come back into it. I'll be streaming the game a lot, probably to grinds. But have a lot of fun, except for the unlucky server issues we had at the beginning of season 2. But other than that, I'm looking forward to see how the rest of the season fares up. This whole area is amazing in terms of like it's cryo archive light. Basically, it is a lesser version, but it has that kind of feeling for it a little bit. I would say it's good. It feels pretty good at the moment. So I truly enjoy it right now, and it's been pretty fun. So yeah, always enjoyed the video, and yeah, good stuff. Did not just loot the body for this. Surely did not just do that. But yeah, cool stuff. Anyways, there we go.